Okay. Hello, everybody. I am working on just putting it on the group here. Fantastic.
Look at that, we've got Victor with us.
What's up?
Good to see you, Victor.
Hi, Victor.
Hi, Orjan. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
It's from Malaysia.
Oh, how fun.
It's 1 a.m. over here, but it's exciting.
Ah, look at that. We've also got Marco from the Philippines here. So this is not America only now, Carla. You're getting invaded by the Asians.
That's okay. We love it.
Good to see you, Bibi. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Orjan.
Yeah.
Great to see you.
And then we've got from Germany, Dieter Braun. Good to see you.
Fantastic. Good to see you.
Yeah, we've got Helena. I believe you're from the Netherlands. Is that correct or is that wrong?
Letting in. Okay.
Okay.
That's wrong. I'm living in Germany, but I'm coming from Holland.
Yeah. So you're Dutch originally, living in Germany. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
No problem. Okay.
I was pretty close.
Yes,
pretty
that's
close.
indeed.
Well, as we let everybody in, I think we will get started here, and it's exciting to see everybody, and a happy new year to everyone. Hello, hello. Good to see everybody. So it is already 2021, and it's so exciting. And actually, with the growth that Zinzino has been having, it has been wild. So I am going to bring in our founder, our Global One president, to help us get started with this year, to help everybody figure out how are we going to get the maximum out of this year. Orjan, it is so good to have you on here. It's the time, 2021. I mean, we had a fantastic 2020, no matter what some people are thinking around, but 2021, Orjan, we have to say this is going to be amazing.
It is, and thank you so much for having me on, Carla. I strongly believe that 2021 is going to be a record-breaking year. That's the decision that we have made. And it's important to know that that's a decision that we make that is going to be a record-breaking year, because we can decide not to, or we can decide to do just that. Cheers, everyone, by the way. If I didn't say that, I said it to some people in person, and I see people from all over the world here. So I guess all of yours, Carla, is at the Mastermind event right now, which I know your entire team is watching. Orjan closing out his opening, and I don't know the agenda of today and tomorrow, but Hilde is speaking today or tomorrow, and I'm closing the event tomorrow, and it's going to be absolutely amazing, that Mastermind events. If you hasn't got your ticket, go to the mastermindevent.com and pay full price, or write to Carla in the chat and get a strongly discounted ticket, because I know that she's got about 15 or some, not
even
15
that,
tickets.
but yeah, I've got a few left, but maybe I can talk to Art. But yeah,
okay.
and no matter how you get it, get the Mastermind. We've already had Randy Gage, we've already had Art, and wow, it's a great way to start the year.
Yeah, and there is unlimited replays on it too. So if you get the ticket, you've got it for at least 2 weeks or a month or whatever time frame that is. So that's very exciting. And then when we start a new year, I always like to start it very fresh and really get into the motion of the new year, so I don't start the new year with the baggage of the old year. A lot of people start the new year with memories, and memories can be good sometimes, but in the memories there is also often baggage from the last year that you bring into the new year, and then the new year gets taken over by the old year and so on. But before I go into everything, I just want to take a moment to also say that 2020 has been, even it for us, has been an incredible year for the business. It has been a very tough year for a lot of people, a lot of families. I think everyone around the world is impacted somehow, either by we having people in our family that got severely sick, or there has been, and in that with COVID-19 is the major happening. But remember that when you think about people passing away, COVID only is counting for 2 or 3% globally of the people passing away. So there is always people that start a new year with lost family members and so on. Just before the new year is here, we had in Norway, of every place on the earth where you would not expect a landslide, we had a landslide where they're still looking for 10 people that are missing in that, and several people in addition to that lost their lives. So there is always a lot of things when you go into New Year that from the last year was tough, and I don't want to take any of that lightly. So when I now go to my topic, remember that we are supposed to mourn, we are supposed to remember all of those that we lost, or those that were less fortunate, if it was business-wise, or if it was relationship-wise, or whatever it was that they were less fortunate in. We're supposed to remember that. But then at the other side, when we cross into the new year, as I said, I don't want to bring the baggage into me. I don't want that to color the new year. I want the new year to be fresh, and that can be difficult when it happened, big, major negative events just before we turn the clock. How do you reset? How do you get in that emotion for that new year and say that 2021 is going to be a record-breaking year? Because I truly believe that it's going to break some big records for a lot of people, and a lot of you guys are already here, and I'm excited to see that. And during the upcoming weeks with all the conferences we have, we'll get to meet a lot of those people. So before I go into that, because I have a specific subject that I want to deal with, but I want to ask Carla, what are your plans for 2021? Because I know that of anybody I know out there, you're ready. You're ready. You've been cut loose to make a run out of a lifetime. So what's your plans for this year?
I know, and you know, Orjan, that you know, when you've really made a decision that you want to do something, you stick with it. So I've made goals. I've made a 10-year plan. I've made a year plan. I've made goals for, you know, what they were just talking on Mastermind. Just to give a push for that, so that it's you know, my physical goals of what I want to do for my body. I've made plans for Zinzino. I've made a lot of plans in a lot of areas of my life, and it makes it fun to want to run after them. So where do you want to start, Orjan?
So specifically, so it's like on the general, me and Hilda have got 3 subjects: exercise, educate, celebrate. That's our 3 key words. So we want record-breaking year in exercise, in education and study, so upgrading ourselves and our team, and then we're going to celebrate all of those records. So I'll go through my specific goals, but what is your specifics that you want to achieve? And,
okay. So
before she says that, I just want to point out that the more specific you are, the more likely you are to reach it, because that will tune your mind into creating exactly what you've described.
Okay, so let's be specific. Okay, so I put down, of course, Black Crown throughout the year. So Royal Crown by June and Black Crown by October. And my T-balance goal, I want to double at 13,063. Is that specific enough for you, Orjan?
Very good, very good.
And yes,
That's-
I do think that people can have high goals. I was inspired listening to Vivica's Gold saying she's going to hit this number and thinking, okay, when she has that size of numbers, and she hit it. And I think she hit it because she set that number as her goal. And it was working towards her. Of course, you have to do the work to get there. But so that is what I'm planning on hitting for the year, specifically in Zinzino.
So that's amazing. I'm 100% sure that you can do that. So just my thoughts on how do you create it into a record-breaking year. And it's okay. So I'm just going to go to it. You got to stop looking at the negatives. So that's the number one step. So whatever in your life, whatever is occupying you and dragging you into the negative, to the disbelief, you got to stop looking at that. That being your phone where you open the news, like it does not matter. And trust me, I've tried them all. Which news station you go to, they're going to put in some negative there no matter what. If it's to music, a lot of the music we listen to is actually a negative lyric. So look into that, because if something is holding you back, you got to look at what it is. There is lots of good music out there, hundreds of thousands of songs, but there is also hundreds of thousands of those that talk about anything else than good stuff. So you got to get away from that. It's the TV. I'm not against watching TV. So be free, watch as much TV as you want, as long as it's in the positive and it brings you to achieve your goal. So I've got a couple of things that I watch on TV because I want to get into a mood of achievement. And I actually use, because TV is a big stimuli, because it captures all of our attention and makes us think about nothing else. And it can be a good stimuli to get you in the mode saying, I want to be like, what, and you know it's actors, but you can play with them and say, hey, look at the cars, look at how they travel, look at how they live. I want to live like that. So you can use that as a positive. But then again, if you're watching the kind of TV that most people watch, you're not going to gain any traction towards where you want to go. You got to watch the people you have around you, because people are the most significant part of our lives. It's other people and what they do, what they don't do. And you got to make sure that you select in people that bring you up. So bring me to point number 2, start looking for the positives. Start finding the people that want to make this planet a better place, okay? Start digging into the good, start digging into the hope, start digging into, so let me just take a thing that is sort of like a positive negative, okay? So let's say that you're an environmentalist, which I think that most people in Europe are by now, and we got to save the planet. You know what? If you go around all the time talking about we got to save the planet, you're talking about the planet going down the drain, and you got to save it. That's a negative. So you got to watch those kind of things. Not saying that is not good to take care of the environment. I love where I live. I love to have it clean around me. I hate that the ocean that I have outside is not as clean as I want it to be when I swim in it. That doesn't always have to do with the humans too. Sometimes the algae is too, which is totally natural thing. But just all of those things, thinking about it, you got to still, again, not digging into the negative, but digging into the hope. Find the companies, dig into what the expert says, and those that are doing carbon capture, those that capture the CO2 and actually creates wiring out of it that you can build airplanes from. And those airplanes are going to be electric, and that electricity is going to come from a non-polluting source, you know? So you can go in there and you can look at the same and dig into the hope and the positive. And in the process, you might invest in one of those companies and become a billionaire or something like that. Everything could happen when you start digging into the positive. Because, yeah, I said it many years ago that I should find this company that's actually doing what I just mentioned. It wasn't a fictitious idea, but it's not large scale yet. But I should put seed capital into that, because it would be something amazing. And of course, you should put some money in Zinzino too, because that will for sure be a good thing for the future. So dig into the positive, and a great way to start that again is get the mastermind event this weekend. Log on to the website, contact Carla, get your ticket so that you can do that. And it's time to stop spending so much time. And I'm talking to myself now, okay? So you're probably perfect. I'm not, okay? So I'm talking to myself. So don't be offended by this. And I'll just talk about me, so you don't need to be offended. But I'm done digging into doubting. I'm done with complaining. Okay, because even though me and Hilda lived a blessed life, there is still a lot of doubt. There is still a lot of doubt around us. There is still a lot of doubt in people we hang out with. I'm just so done with that. I'm done with the complaining. I'm really gonna take, and some of my coachings, for those that are so lucky to be coached by me in 2021, I will be very direct about complaining part of our conversations, okay? There is no use in it. Whatever you spend complaining about, you will get more of. So if you're complaining about the business not growing fast enough, you will get more of the not so fast growth. It will grow whatever you spend your time on. So I'm done with that. So that's one of the big things for my life this year. No more complaining, no more doubting. Instead, we want to direct the mind power that we have into creating the kind of business, the kind of life. So exercise, educate, and celebrate. That's the big thing. So in brief, what should you be doing? And I'm covering this at the closing tomorrow at the Mastermind event. I'll be covering this in many of the events that I'm going to speak on in the upcoming weeks in Zinzino. There is so like we wrote down our goals and we finished them here just I think it was at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. No, actually after the kids went to bed. So 9 o'clock New Year's Eve, we had our goals down, and we decided that we will have a 50% growth in our Zinzino business. So in the number of turnover, euros is going to grow 50%. That's Hilda and my personal growth goal. Doesn't mean that the company will say that to the stock market, but that's what we're aiming for. So stock market, when Doug writes a CEO report, might be different. He can have his goals for the company, and then we have our goals for the company. And you have your goals for the company and for you and for your business. 50% growth, also 50% growth in the numbers of customers. So that brings us to 525,000 customers by the end of the year. And for the turnover, we believe for 1,717 million Swedish kroners in turnover in 2021. Then our personal income goal is, I don't know if I should share the numbers. It's a specific number. I don't want to go into sharing that because it's high. But the specific numbers is about a 20% increase in our commissions. So you see the way our compensation plan is built, even though we double this or go 50% up in the sales, our compensation will then only go up about 20%. While if you were on the executive level or you're at platinum level and you double your sales or go up to, your income will raise a lot more than 20%. So that's a good part of our compensation plan. So 20% increase in that. When it comes to the dividends of the ownerships that we have, we want to quadruple that. No, sorry, not quadruple, triple it. So it's going to go up 3 times. And we're already at a 7 digit number, okay? So when that goes up 3 times, it's going to be pretty nice. So a much more aggressive goal from the wealth creation side, because we've got our monies invested, and that's giving a much bigger return now than we could ever expect before. So that's through the roof. And then on wealth creation, we've got a staggering goal. We're going to go up nearly 300% on our wealth creation, which is why I think the stock pick of the year is Zinzino. Anybody that believes that me and Hilda will reach our goal, you should buy Zinzino shares, because that's where we do most, not all, but most of our wealth creation. So we're very specific in things that we want to do. I've got my weight goal, Hilda's got her weight goal, and then more important than the weight goal, even though they're very interrelated, those two goals, is that I want to be able to run a 10K run in 40 minutes. And you don't do that with too much excess weight around your hips or your stomach or wherever you have it. 10K in 40 minutes is pretty fast. If you have done it, you know how fast that is. And I'm very impressed with you. If you've never done it, you could also be doing that this year. As long as you're below the age of 70, you can definitely be doing it. And probably also if you're above 70, but I won't push you as hard. If you're above 70, if you're above 90, I'd not be pushing you at all. I'd just be happy that you run a 10K. But there is people that did not start exercising before they passed 95, that in 2020 ran marathons, still with COVID and everything out there. They still decided to run their marathons during the year, so that's possible. So some very, very specific, exciting things that we have on our list. But how do you make it happen? You know, that's the big question. There has never been a lack of dreams or goals. There might sometimes be a lack of vision, but not dreams and not goals. People set those all the time. But it's the achievement, the attainment of them, that's the difficult part. So you got to find out what it is for you, because these things are individual. But for me, I felt specifically for me this year to be able to create those goals that I talked about. I needed to have 1 full hour of exercise 7 days a week. And that doesn't mean that I necessarily work out 7 days a week, because sometimes it's good to take 1 or 2 days of complete rest as well. But it means that I've got 7 hours in a week where I can spend indulging in exercise. And that's with 3 small kids. Gabriel is 6, Sarah is 2, and little Anna Rebecca, she is 5 months old, you know. It's not easy to get an hour. It's not very easy to get an hour of exercise, but I need that, because I need that energy. I need that to be able to stay sharp, feel good about myself. So that is very critical. And it might be the one thing that has been holding your back if you've not been exercising and you've not been achieving your goals. I'd be looking into that, because physical strength makes the mind stronger. Physical strength, if you're working on your attitude, makes your attitude stronger. Physical strength makes your posture stronger. So physical strength is helping you in a lot of areas. So, and the older I get, the more I realize that that is true. And then number 2 was that I need to study more. And I've studied a lot in my life, okay? I've got literally thousands of books, and to my own surprise, I've read a whole bunch of them. I read more of them than I remember sometimes. I go, have I read this one? Yeah, that's my notes here on page 58. So I must have read it. I don't remember when, but I did read this one too. And I've listened to so many talks, so many videos, so many audios through the years. So I've been a student, But I really felt that for 2021, because in 2020, we intensified the community, much more online meetings, much more of all of those things that you know. But I really said that for this year, I got to really get into it because we got to teach the specifics, and you'll see that from both me and Hilde during this upcoming year. Will be very specific. What I'm going to roll out in January, which is related to something super cool that we're launching on the 7th of this month. Something just insanely incredible we're launching, and together with that, I'm doing a series on prospecting and recruiting so that everyone in the team will be able to achieve all of those super cool campaigns that we're launching on the 7th. So that's a heads up. And no worries, you can start bringing in the volume now. You don't need to sandbag, pocket anything. You'll be compensated from the 1st of the month. So you don't have to stop doing something now because we're launching something on the 7th. That's for those that are new to the company. Many companies don't do that. We always do take care of people that started early. We don't penalize them just because we didn't have our kickoff early enough. So that's going to happen, but really at least 30 minutes on what I call personal development. And personal development can be anything from personal development to spiritual development, depending on who you are, what you believe in. But personal development, but then also specifically at least 30 minutes of your study time should be professional development. And a lot of people miss that. So we're a customer first company. A part of your professional development is learning how to sell. Because if you don't know how to sell, you won't have 25 or 50 customers and your team won't have it either. So that's a professional development thing. How long time will it learn to get the skills of a salesperson enough to get 25 customers? Probably only 2 weeks. So if you spend 30 minutes a day for 2 weeks studying selling, by the end of those 2 weeks, you'll go, okay, this is so easy. I can do it now. I don't ever have to spend an hour on that again. But then you go into recruiting, into leadership, into speaking, into presentation, into person. So I'd say personality is a cross-link between professional and personal. Because in professional, you have to have a pleasing personality. So spending time on that, and then for me specifically, doesn't necessarily relate to you. I can do a lot of this as I'm exercising, listening, reading. I got to sit down, but then I also got to sit down and spend time on writing it out, planning it out. So that's another hour for me of educational exercise on a daily basis. And no, when I say a daily basis, I'm a healthy, sound human being. That means 5 days a week, 90 days at a time, and then we take a vacation. And then we come back to it. So it doesn't mean that you have to do it every day, like, oh, I missed Sunday. I know, feel bad for the whole entire next week. I'm not talking about that. So you can miss a Tuesday and you make it up for it the next day. But it's the 5 hours, actually, I would say 7 hours, getting the full 7 hours, but cramp it into 5 hours a week if you don't do it 5 days a week if you don't do it every day. And then the last part, and I'm going to leave you with that, and that is taking the advices from those that have already done it, learning from the experts. It's huge, you know, if you do that. I sent a text message to my brothers, they're investors. And I texted them just because they tried to make the most return on their money. And I texted them a couple of examples of the people that are really great at what they do. And if all they would do was to place their money with them, they would have done a lot better, which means that if they would take their advices 100%, they would have done a lot better. Are you getting me? So taking the advices is just critical. And there is a lot of advice I've gotten in my life. I've taken a lot of them, obviously. Hilde and I, we've gotten ahead. I mean, 2020 for Zinzino, we broke through 100, so a billion Swedish kronor, so 135 million US. We've over 400 people actively paid at the diamond level in our team. We've got 350,000 customers. We're in 37 countries officially and pre-launching another 60. I mean, so we're not, it's not that everything went wrong. It might sound like that nothing went right there. No, a lot of things went right, okay? But if I would have taken this one advice, from the very time that I heard it the first time, I'm pretty sure that we would already have crossed 1 billion. Using this one advice. And for our personal income, we would have been doing a lot more. If I'd taken all the advice I can think about, it would have gone even much better than that. But just this one advice. And this is the advice that I'm gonna be repeating. So you might as well just start doing it right away, because I will be tormenting people with this throughout January. This will be repeated so many times that you say, okay, I'm not logging on because I know what Orjan is gonna say. So I'm just not gonna log on. Forget about it, I've heard it before. But I heard this back in, I can't say exactly, but someday back in the 90s. Probably before 1996, definitely from 1996. I do believe I heard it already back in 1994, okay? So that's a long time ago. And the advice was very simple. 2 people a day brings freedom my way. Easy to do, easy not to do. It's a 10-minute exercise. 5 minutes per person. So meet and greet 2 people a day. So send them a text saying hi, send them some information about the company, send them some information that they were asking for. So it's building relationships with 2 people a day. It's a 5-minute a day exercise until you've gone through every pre-existing contact that you have. That probably by the end of the day is a couple of thousand. And then after that, it becomes about a 15-minute exercise a day, because you actively got to search for 2 new people every day. And if I'd taken that advice just straight off, 28 years later, I'd have like 20,000 personal contacts, and I would have had probably 250 frontline strong leaders, instead of the 9 that Hilde and I have together. So it's a huge difference in those 2 numbers. 9 is good. A lot of people would say, well, 9, if I had 9, I'd be happy. And yes, you should. But I just realized how much I lost on my ignorance or my arrogance, or that I didn't need that. So that was what I felt. And I fought this for over a month, okay, last year. I was fighting this for over a month, because I didn't want to give that advice to anybody in January, because it's really tough to do, because it's 10 minutes a day. It takes a lot of discipline. So I was considering changing it to 1 a day. I was considering changing it into a weekly thing, a monthly thing. But I did not, but I did make my own rules, because I think that the way I was presented it originally was unrealistic. And that's why I didn't do it. And I don't know if anybody that is watching here have done it either. So here is my rules around 2 people a day, and my advice for you to kick off 2021 like you've never done before. And that's to say the mantra, 2 people a day brings freedom my way. Start doing it right away. And here is my rules. 5 days a week, so you don't need to go 7. So 10 a week is good. 5 days a week for a 90-day period of time, and then we take a good vacation. And after the vacation, we come back and we do 5 days a week, 2 people a day, 5 days a week for a 90-day period, and then we take a good vacation again. And if I do that, I counted that I'd probably end up creating about 4,000 new good contacts in the next 10 years. And with 4,000 new good contacts, if I'm a F level recruiter, I'd still enroll 400. So failing level recruiter, I'd still have 10% saying yes because they have not learned the no word. I'm going to practice more in saying no also myself. So and that's at least going to create like 10 or 20 lines in those 10 years, you know, and that's going to create unlimited wealth for ourselves. And anybody that takes up that advice, 7-figure or 8-figure income becomes completely doable. It's not even difficult.
The importance of the pause, Orjan, the importance of the pause that was here. 2 a day brings freedom my way. I think everybody's got that. So setting those goals and getting some tasks to help that, that's in our business. Let's do that. But I do think there's a lot of things out there that also help with that, like how it ties together. You said when you're disciplined in your weight goals or your exercise goals, it also helps out in your business goals. So I think it's great to set fantastic plans all the way around, because I think 2021 is going to be an outstanding year.
Yeah, and with that, when you take massive action on the systems we already have, together with your uplines, together with your team members, it's going to be amazing.
And you're not
We're
going to
going to get some record-breaking results.
You're not going to just give us a little hint in regards to the 7th gushing? We're all here. We just want to know what's the hint.
It's going to be incredible. That's the hint. It's going to be incredible. So we're releasing, we're not releasing, but we are pre-launching a new product that I'm very excited about. I don't know if Doug mentioned the second product that is coming in the end of March, but we have a couple of things coming out, new products. We've got at least 3 major launches for this year, product-wise. And then, so all of these things are happening in the secret. One of them, like actually I'd say, well, one of them is very important for our strategy. It's not revolutionary, but it's critical to our strategy. The other one is absolutely an incredible product that we'll do lots of clinical studies around in the future, which will come out with some amazing results. I think by 2022, the clinical studies that we're planning with that one product will be written about in every medical journal around the world, and that's a big claim, okay? But if we succeed with that planned study, it will be. And we've got pretty good pre-data that we will succeed, but there is never a guarantee, okay? Even though all the pre-data looks good, it's still pre-data, it's not a double placebo blind. We're gonna do that in 2022, so that'll be exciting. And then the other one is actually one of in the medical community, they're going into this area very strongly, and there is a lot of drugs developed in this area. We developed an all-natural solution that we think will be working better than the drugs being developed in the area, and it's not attacking a disease, so it's easier to make claims around it when it's not about a disease problem, but more of a, it's not a cosmetic problem either. So I got you curious enough, so I'm gonna leave it with that. And then we combine this with an implementation of something brilliant in our compensation plan on the 7th.
Oh, Orjan, I think it's fun to see how calm you are, but you've got a smirk on. I know what that means, and it's got me all excited about it. You know, I was excited to begin with, but I hope everybody watching got something out of today in regards to setting your goals and looking forward to many things happening here in 2021. Orjan, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and the children to be on here today. We so appreciate you. Thank you, Orjan.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Let's make 2021 the best year ever. Fantastic, everybody. Have a great day and I'm hoping everybody's watching some mastermind out there. It's already incredible. We've got the whole rest of the weekend. So
Yeah. And
mastermindevent.com.
I've not seen any of the talks except from Hilda, and she's absolutely amazing. I think that the closing that I'm delivering is giving you that little push that you need to really launch the year.
We'll leave it with that. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye, everybody.